Yeah, I think it's a little over the top. My husband thinks I already spoiled them enough with all their gifts and stuff. They're like, he would go crazy if I said, "Oh, we're gonna do a boo basket now." Like,
You know, Kathy, that's so funny that you say that. I have a similar problem. Like Tim's like, why do they need all this crap, Nancy? This is ridiculous. And I'm like, is it ridiculous? They do need it.
I mean, even for their birthdays, he's like, "You go over the top." So I know this one would not fly. He'd be like,
Welcome to Three Little Fishes. We're three sisters who grew up in the Midwest together, but have since spread across the country. I live in Los Angeles.
I'm in Nashville. And I live in Philadelphia. We are all married with children. We've all had careers, but now we stay at home with our families.
We've all been through ups and downs that come along with life and have always helped each other through, shared stories, and laughed together.
We welcome all of you into our daily conversations and hope you have some fun with us. So let's jump in.
What's up, fishes?
"What's up?"
Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those who cannot see me and are just hearing me, the Dodgers clinched to go to the World Series, and I'm wearing my Dodger hat. And I think it's very exciting, if you all know the World Series, that the Yankees and the Dodgers meet again for the first time since 1981. So it's very exciting to have a coast-to-coast battle. Are you all following the World Series?
No.
Well, I was until the Phillies got out. But I actually am excited for the Dodgers. I do like them.
Is it because you didn't make the right Philly cheesesteaks? You didn't make them with beef. You made them with chicken.
Oh, I hope not.
No Cheese Whiz.
Not everyone does the cheese whiz, people.
Do you know who is super excited about the World Series, which is hilarious to me, are our parents. Dad is a huge Yankees fan, and Mom is a huge Dodgers fan. So they have their own
divided. A house divided.
A house
I think
divided.
that's cute.
I know. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. I don't love regular season baseball unless I'm at the ballpark.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to watch the postseason. And we live in Los Angeles, and everybody's obviously super excited to have something to root for.
Yeah, it's the rage. I love it.
Before we get into it, I just want to remind all of our listeners to please remember to rate, like, subscribe to wherever you're getting your pods, and remember to invite your favorite fishes, 3 of your favorite fishes, to join in on the conversation. You all, I have something that I heard about that I wanted to share and put out to the world. Have you heard of boo baskets?
I know booing.
Yeah.
I don't know what a boo basket is, but I know what booing is.
So a boo basket is kind of like an Easter basket, where you put together a basket for your kids with all sorts of treats and gifts to get them excited about Halloween before the day arrives. So here's your boo basket. It's Halloween. Look at all your yummies. And then we're going to go out and you're going to put your costume on and you're going to go to parties and do all the other things. I feel very icky about it in a way. Like, I guess do what you want if you want to get your kid a boo basket. But for me, I like it just like the old fashioned. Like, why can't they just get their costume on, go trick-or-treating, and that's their treat? You know, their costume and trick-or-treating and getting candy. Is that not enough for like a fun little holiday? Like, do they need a boo basket?
Well,
For my family, I'm saying they do not need a boo basket, and I am not doing it. What are your all's thoughts?
are we saying they're gifts in this boo basket, or is it more candy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's whatever you want it to be. I think if you want to put gifts in there, you can do whatever you want. Like, everybody's Easter basket's a little different. I think however you choose to make your boo basket is up to you. But the takeaway for me was it was a gift for Halloween.
Yeah, I think it's a little over the top myself. Personally, I would not do boo baskets for my kids. My husband thinks I already spoiled them enough with all their gifts and stuff. They're like, he would go crazy if I said, "Oh, we're going to do a boo basket now."
You know, Kathy, that's so funny that you say that. I have a similar problem. Like Tim's like, why do they need all this crap, Nancy? This is ridiculous. And I'm like, is it ridiculous? They do need it.
I mean, even for their birthdays, he's like, you go over the top. So I know this one would not fly. He'd be like, no.
Well, I mean, for years and years, we would get booed. So getting booed is you get like a little bucket and it's like it's like ding dong ditched onto your front stoop. And it has like candy or like cups or, like little plastic, light up necklace or something like that. It's like little things for the kids in the house. And then you put a piece of paper in your window saying you've been booed. And then you in turn go and boo other people. So then you wait until it's dark and you try and sneak up. And it's just like a fun little activity to sort of gear up toward Halloween. So we did that for a long, long time, which was sort of a fun activity. I feel like Halloween in and of itself is a treat. So I don't know if you need bonus treats, but like the fun boo activity was sort of fun. So
we're going to get booed. We actually got like a email because we have about 50 some homes in our neighborhood. And my neighbor just down the street sent a note out to everyone saying, hey, who wants to participate in the boo? And I volunteer because I love it. So I said, but we have not gotten
out in the dark.
Yeah, we haven't gotten booed yet, but
yeah, I should actually start it here because when we moved to the South, people don't boo here. But it is kind of like it was fun to get the kid, like especially when they were little. We would go out at night. We would try and sneak up on our friends, try not to get caught. Somebody has to ring the doorbell, then you run and hide and they see their treats. And it would always have like little dollar store like cups or I don't know, just like little trinket things. So anyway, that I kind of think is a fun activity. I don't know if I would make a boo kit for each one of my kids and like give them treats because Halloween is a treat. In my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of Halloween, there's a new movie coming out, or it just came out. It's called The Substance, and it is a modern horror film. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. My oldest told me about it yesterday. It's like got Demi Moore, and she's like playing this 50-year-old, and she gets fired because she's aged out of her like exercise business or whatever. And so she goes to this company run by Dennis Quaid, and you get this injection and it's supposed to like change you into your best, most beautiful version of yourself. And of course, everything goes amok. But like this one person says about it, it's like a modern horror film that wholly lives up to its promise and premise, beautifully grotesque in all the ways. So if you're into a horror movie, this is it's an original script. So it's actually getting some really good press. If you like a horror movie, The Substance.
Yeah. I'm not a horror movies,
but whatever. People love it.
They just freak me out. I can't like sleep at night. I don't know. Never been.
I'm with you. I'm not either.
I'm the same. And it's annoying to Tim because I don't know if he's a horror movie guy either, but like even I'm sensitive to all sorts of things I didn't used to be before we had kids. And now I'm just like, oh, that's too intense. I'm out.
Yeah,
so me too.
I'm definitely out with the horror movie, but yeah, it sounds like if you're into it, that might be a good one to do.
I think it is kind of gruesome too. I've read a couple of reviews and it seems like it's pretty intense.
So do you guys do like haunted houses and stuff this time of year? Like do you do like the haunted hay rides or like will you do those kinds of things?
We used to go to this huge pumpkin patch outside Chicago called Bankston's, and they had a haunted house and they had hayrack rides and it was like a carnival and all the things. And we did that every year forever. And it was amazing. There isn't anything like that down here.
Kathy, would you do a haunted house? Like, is a movie different than a haunted house?
I actually would do a haunted house if someone was holding my hand like with me. My kids actually have gone to a haunted house here.
You know what? I used to love watching Nancy. I used to love when Ellen was on and she would make her producer go through the haunted houses every year. And he would go through it and he would like get so scared and he would go with like a celebrity and they would like hold hands together. I thought that was really funny. I'll have to pull some of those up.
I have been obsessed with the new season of The Lincoln Lawyer that I basically binged it, season 3. And I loved it so much on Netflix. And I want you all to get through it so we can talk about it because I thought this season was excellent.
Yeah, I have one more episode.
I'm enjoying it as well, and so is my husband. And
so good.
I have to yell at him at night because I'm like, I can't watch anymore because I have to get up early. Like, we have to shut it down.
Do you want me to tell you what happens so you don't have to watch it? Should we download it?
No, but I really like Mickey Haller's character.
Yeah,
he's
cute. Okay, so last week we were talking about decluttering and organizing all that stuff. And I'm still kind of like in the process of doing that, getting ready for the holidays, getting ready for a lot of sleepover company. And so today we kind of thought we would talk about like cleaning tips and tricks because we all stay at home and I spend a crazy amount of time cleaning my house. Every week, every day. So I think, we have, each of us have kind of our own jam on that. And we thought we would chat it out.
Although I will say that you do know a lot of tricks and tips. And you're like, Nancy, do you do this to your washer? Do you do this to your dryer? No, I don't.
Yeah, the washer.
So it's like, I will tell you, I was kind of embarrassed. And even though we're related, I was super embarrassed when you guys came out to visit me in August or September. I can't remember. It was August. And you were doing a load of laundry at my house and you were like, Nancy, what is going on here? And you were very animated and you're like, oh, there's something horribly wrong in here. And I was like, what?
Well, there was.
A washer. Like, what's wrong? And you're like, oh my goodness, I think you have mold. Oh, my nose can smell it. You have mold in here. Don't you wipe this down? Don't you clean it? Don't you leave this open? So I'm like, no, I don't do any of those things. So I have a front loader. And apparently I didn't realize that you were supposed to leave your door kind of open. And you need to make sure that it gets dried out because it can get mildewy. And that apparently was happening to my washer. So it's nothing like having your older sister come and find your washer getting mildewy and not smelling good. And she's in there on her hands and knees with bleach and all the things to try to clean up the washer.
Yeah.
I will say that the washer is now in good shape. And now I make sure I dry it out. The door is propped open and my little problem is handled. But I was a tiny bit horrified as I had a house full of people and she's like, this is nasty. What are you doing?
Yeah. Front loaders are notoriously known for that. And I know that because our washer, we used to have a top loader. And when I went to buy a new machine, there were really not many top loaders. And I was like, what's going on? Everybody's now getting these front loaders. And then this saleswoman was like, I know you're worried about this front loader because I'm sure you've read they have mold, whatever, because it stays wet in the rim of the washer. So she turned me on to this new washer that just had come out. It has a vent in it. So when it shuts off, the vent goes, so it tries to air the seal dry. So if you forget to get your clothes out at night or whatever, it will run that. So it's like a fan.
That's
so that
fancy.
helps. That helps. And I think probably new front loaders now probably will have that too, new technology, but that is kind of a boo about those. I mean, it is gross. Who wants mold in their washer? No one.
Well,
Nobody.
I think the most horrifying part was I was like, wait, what's the problem? I feel like I'm not.
Well, the thing that's funny is if people don't know you, you're like fastidious about like
Yeah.
germs. So that's like horrible.
You're a very uptight, tidy housekeeper. So it was sort of shocking. So listeners, I mean, if you have a top loader, naturally you kind of just leave your lid open after you
Correct.
unload. So when you have a front loader, you also need to wipe down the inside of the door every once in a while.
And leave it cracked.
And leave it cracked open. And I even wipe the rubber around the door, when I'm done with all my loads, which happen every day, to just kind of keep it dry and clean. And then every once in a while, everybody, you have to wash your washer. So there's a wash cycle. There's all these products that you can throw in there to wash them. But I just put baking soda and vinegar I put the vinegar in the softener section, and that cleans it out.
Yeah.
So you have to wash your washer just like you have to wash your dishwasher every once in a while and run a clean cycle. And then I also leave cut limes or lemons in my dishwasher to keep it smelling happy.
What?
Yes.
Wait. You leave like actual cut lemons in your dishwasher?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Well, does it not, the peels not hurt it?
The peels don't disintegrate. It just keeps it fresh. And then the inside, the lemon part makes it smell good. And then when the lemon part is gone after like 5 or 6 cycles, I take that cut lemon out and I put a new one in.
That's hilarious.
That's
So
good.
there's always a lemon in your dishwasher.
Yes.
Did not know this about you.
So I just put it at the bottom. It doesn't interfere with anything. It doesn't move. I also have like a very unhealthy, I actually am realizing now I'm a little crazy, but I have a very unhealthy fear of having my house catch fire because of the dryer. So I was just every day, I clean out the vent thing that after every drying, but I have this like gigantic pipe cleaner kind of apparatus, and we'll put the link in the show notes. But I just cleaned that out in the inside of the dryer, and then I went outside and I cleaned that out. And it's shocking how much stuff comes out of your dryer vent. So I don't hire somebody to do it. Maybe they would do a better job, but I do that every couple of months, and I go outside and like use my huge pipe cleaner kind of thing and get it all cleaned out.
I have that same problem with the lint. It's like, where in the world is this coming from? It's like, I feel like I'm constantly cleaning that vent outside.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's gross. Yeah.
But I do know somebody that caused a fire because they didn't clean that vent, the exhaust vent outside, and it got all clogged.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it's a real thing. You have to be careful.
Yeah, I'm scared of that. So I do clean it pretty regularly.
Yes.
Speaking of laundry, which is something I do almost every day, I have 2 little laundry tips. One of them, I have an athlete at my house still. And so white vinegar, I put it in I don't put fabric softener in my wash, but I do pour it into the fabric softener. That, along with the dishwashing detergent, gets all smells out. It's like magic. White vinegar is magic. And then the other tip I have, our friend Todd gave me, I put Dawn dishwashing soap on grease stains on clothing, and I kind of rub it in, and then I put it in the wash like normal, and it always comes out.
Yes, that was a great tip. It works.
So that's a good little
vinegar
tip
trick.
from Todd. Yeah.
I've used with our puppy because she is smelly. And I'm like, how do we get this smell out of everything? So it works.
Yeah, it gets the hockey equipment like smell free, which is, if anybody has ever smelled hockey equipment, it has its own special smell that is horrible. Yeah. So it does get it clean. So that's amazing. So I highly recommend that.
Kathy, you also have a trick for like dust mites, right? Like we're talking about cleaning. What's your trick for dust mites?
So I realized like this spring, I was having a lot of I do have allergies. I've known I've had allergies forever, like hay fever, like outside allergies and things like that. But I did
Yeah.
go to an allergist because I was really having a hard time, and I was having to use my inhaler all the time. I'm like, what is going on with me? So
Yeah.
I found out that not only do I have like seasonal outside allergies, I also am allergic to dust and dust mites. And that grossed me out because I was like, I thought I was allergic to the dog, but it makes sense. The dog brings in all those allergens from outside,
Yes.
and you're taking care of the dog, so you're getting exposed to that. But also, when I'm cleaning, all that dust gets thrown in the air. And then the next day, I'd be like, why are my eyes so itchy and red? And I'm like miserable. Well, he said, because you're highly allergic to dust mites. And it is kind of gross because,
Well, you can't look at a dust mite underneath a microscope because
right,
their
you
little
can't
legs,
see
and
them.
it's like they're terrible looking.
You can't see them, but
Right.
they live in the dust
Yeah.
and they love like warm, moist places. Like, so, like your house is at 70 degrees ish. That's like the
Hmm.
temperature they love. But they thrive like in mattresses, pillows, towels, carpets, furniture, stuffed animals. But
Yeah.
like I read a figure, there's like approximately 2 million dust mites in your bed.
That is nasty.
Is that like gross to think about?
It really is. It's very
So
unsettling.
I was thinking about, why do I have these allergies? And then I thought about that movie Sleepless in Seattle. Do you remember when that Annie's boyfriend was like allergic to everything Walter? He's
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
Walter. And she's constantly passing him his sinus spray and his tissue.
that's
He
how
met
I
a
was
Handing him that
feeling.
beer.
Yeah, he can't do anything. He can't go outside. I mean, it's like he's allergic to everything. That's how I was kind of feeling. I'm like, oh, geez. So the thing that I found is, and I'll post it in the show notes. I got it also from the Mayo Clinic, not just from my allergist, but there are things you can do like self care to help with this so it's not like so unmanageable. But you should encase like your pillows, your mattresses to get them kind of as tight as you can so they can't get in there. And you need to wash your bedding like every week or every week and a half for sure, like
Mhm.
in hot temperature so you kill the mites, and also in the dryer. And
Mhm.
then wash those little stuffed animals of your kiddos because
Yeah.
they're nasty. Vacuum, you got to vacuum regularly. You mop. You just have to get all that dust and everything out of your house as much as you can and often.
Mhm.
Get rid of
Mhm.
carpet if you can. They say declutter, like we kind of talked about last week.
Right.
So declutter, just try to limit stuff,
It's
but
good
get
for
rid of.
you.
And
Some
then
good
when you're
tips.
dusting, you should use a wet rag, not a dry one. Or like those like little muffs or whatever, because
Mhm.
those actually get it more in the air,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, yeah.
bad for me.
Yeah.
Really. So you should get it in a damp rag so you kind of contain the dust and everything, and then wash
Yeah.
it.
Those are really good tips. Like Riley struggles with allergies too that we're working on. And he sleeps with this gigantic dog that he's had since he was maybe two,
Yeah.
that he still has in his bed that he loves. I don't know if he'd like me saying this on air, but he does. And he like he like uses as a pillow still. And trying to wash that dog is a nightmare. And
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
know.
Except for the
I'll wash
laundromat.
it. Yeah, I'll wash it and I'll be like, why don't you just have it up like by your bed and not really lay on it and just let it like be there in your bed so we don't have to wash it as much. But he can't help himself. He literally
Yeah.
uses it as a pillow.
It's a
So
body pillow.
it's a body pillow, but that's
Yeah.
a real beast to wash. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, some really good tips.
I also had
So,
one other tip that I do for, I mean, this isn't related to allergies, but I sometimes, because I have boys, their sinks get full of hair and the drains get slow. And I find I have very fine hair and long hair that ends up kind of in the sink. You don't realize it, or maybe you snip your ends and don't realize it like collects in that drain. And I found this flexible pro drain. It's called a Weasel, and it will also be in the show notes. But it's like a little pipe cleaner that has a handle, and you unscrew the drain and you just stick it in there and do the handle. And then when you pull it out, it pulls all that nastiness that is in your drain. And you'll
Yeah.
be like shocked what comes out of there.
And it will save you, and it could save you a call from a plumber.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to come unclog you.
The plumber is always expensive. That reminds me of that episode in Modern Family when Phil was in charge of the girls and they had to clean their bathroom, and they used like a wire coat hanger, and they did the same thing, and the girls were like dry heaving in the shower. It was dry heaving because the girls were on it.
It is gross. Like,
It is.
gross. Like, nasty. All right. I have another tip for people kind of getting ready for the holidays. It even works on your jewelry, whatever, silver plated, real silver. But I saw it on the spruce, and it will be posted in the show notes, but it's a do it yourself, and it's not with a lot of cleaners. It has 4 ingredients: salt, baking soda, aluminum foil, and you use boiling water. And I actually think they had a tip. You do it on the stove, use it in a pan that, can be on the stove, and boil the water directly, which is easier, I feel like, than putting it in another pan and then the water gets cold or whatever. But then you place your item in the pan on the foil, and then you add the salt and the baking soda, and then the while boils, and it removes all the tarnish. It soaks there for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then you flip it over, and
wipe
it
it off
does
with
the
a microwave.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a really good tip. I've actually used that tip to clean up some silver jewelry that I had, and it works like a dream. It works like a
that's
dream.
nice. It does work.
And
Yeah, I've done that too.
doesn't
It's
use
great.
harsh chemicals.
My tip for everybody listening would be do a little something every day, whether it's, sweep the floors, wipe down the counter, and then try and get yourself into a little bit of a routine. Like for me, I do bathrooms on Mondays and I do sheets on Wednesdays. And so if you can, try to give yourself a little bit of grace and do a little something every single day, whether it's one load of laundry or wiping down counters or whatever. That way the house doesn't feel like such an overwhelming chore when you get to the weekend and you feel like you have time, but you don't want to spend all of your Saturday cleaning.
Yeah, doing the laundry, like waiting. If I wait like more than a day, that's a whoa. That's a no.
Yeah. Well, you have.
But I think the dream with the laundry is like when people start to get older, like they're learning how to do it. So you're running low on underwear, you know how to do it. There you go. The washer's open. Go to it. So that's been a big bonus about having older kids, is that they can do it themselves.
I think your other tip, we've talked about this, Linda, is the barkeeper's friend. I love that.
I love that stuff. I use that to wash toilets, the shower.
I've used it in the toilet before, but I use it a lot on my stainless steel pans.
Yep.
Like they really clean those well.
Yeah, that's a great product. I love it.
All right, y'all. I feel like these have been some good tips and some suggestions, and maybe our listeners can use some of these little nuggets to help them make life a little bit easier.
Happy cleaning.
What's for dinner? I can tell you what I'm doing on my end. So I tried this a little while ago, and I'm going to do it again. It worked really well. It's super easy. I got a chicken, and I had it cut up, and you can even buy it at the supermarket already like butchered for you. And I got plain yogurt, and I marinated the chicken pieces for at least 2 hours in the yogurt. Mm-hmm. And then you bake it. You scrape off the excess yogurt and you put it in a pan and you bake it for 425 for like 40 minutes. And it's nothing special. It's just yogurt, salt, and it tenderizes it, and it's really, really delicious. The first time I made it, my kids were watching me make it, and they were both like, "Oh, we are not eating that. What are you doing? That's disgusting." But then they ate it, and you know what? They really
It's
liked
delicious.
it.
Yeah.
It's super good, and it's super easy to make, and it's a quick weekday meal, and that's what we're having for dinner tonight.
Sounds
Oh, that's
delicious. To be honest, I don't know what we're having tonight. We have a couple of events tonight, so we might just do takeout. to make
Takeout's
life
always a good
easier.
choice.
We are doing Taco Tuesday.
I know you love your Taco Tuesday. I love that you really are committed to that. That is your jam. I love it.
We do eat tacos a lot on Tuesday.
You know what else I just tried recently that was very good, and I was surprised. You know, everything's pumpkin right now because we're in October. I made pumpkin banana muffins.
Oh,
And I was like, is this going to work? And you know what? It did. And it because you could reduce the sugar because the bananas have so much sugar in them. And both of my kids really liked them.
That
And
sounds
it turned
good.
out. Yeah.
should
So,
post
Does not sound good to me. That sounds
I-
terrible. Banana
so
and
that-
pumpkin together? That doesn't sound good
Yes.
to me. No.
yes.
I'm
Do you
a
know
no
what
for that.
Tim said the same thing, and it actually turned out like
I don't
pumpkin
believe
banana
you.
muffins. If you're feeling adventurous, look it up, give
No,
it a try.
I'm not doing it. That sounds terrible. Good for you. No.
Well, we want to thank you for listening to our podcast and letting us sisters jump into your day. Please make sure to follow, rate, and review us. We would love to have your feedback. Also, please share our podcast with any three little fishes that you think would enjoy listening to us. Have a wonderful week and a weekend. Sisters out.